Welcome back to Canard Boulevard. My name is Scott. Today, we're going to be installing my new propeller. Coming up. So I've been waiting for this since January. I sent off my old one at the beginning of December, and they said they'd turn it around within a few weeks, and I should have it back to second or third week of January. Today is March 10th. Yeah, a little bit of a delay, and I've just been sitting here on the ground watching beautiful flying days go by while my airplane sits in here without a propeller, but that is all about to change. So today we're going to install this propeller on the propeller hub, then we'll balance it. I've got to check out the ignition wires that I put on, so I'll put the prop on, start it up, make sure the ignition wires are working all right. As long as it doesn't rain, because it's threatening to rain, I'll pull it out. We'll do a run-up, test the brakes, and then if I can get to it, we'll balance the prop as well. That's the plan for this video, so let's get to work.
One thing to say about Catto is they definitely know how to package their props. It takes a little bit of work to get this apart. I suppose I could do it faster if I actually tore into the boxes, but I do like to keep the boxes intact in case you ever do need to send the prop back, which I did the last time, and I used those boxes. Now you can see me putting the crush plate and the spinner holder plate as I torque the bolts on there, and you torque them in several different stages up to a specific level. And then I am installing the safety wire, which is what keeps those bolts from ever backing out.
If you finish safety wiring your prop and you're not bleeding, then you're not trying hard enough.
Then I put the spinner on. Now, normally I wouldn't do this just for a run-up, but because I'm balancing the prop, I want the spinner to be on there. Now I'm removing the top spark plugs from the engine.
All right, you saw me taking the spark plugs out of there, and that's so that there's no compression on the engine, because now I'm going to motor the engine with the starter, and because it hasn't run in 4 months, and that will pump oil up and through the engine into all the galleys and on the cam and everywhere else, because all that oil is dripped down into the sump. And because there's no plugs in it, there's no resistance, so there's the least amount of friction inside the engine as I do that.
So what I want to see is the oil pressure of the engine coming up into the green zone as the engine is spinning, which tells me that there is oil flowing throughout the engine and lubricating it.
All right, that worked well. I got up to 40 psi oil pressure, so I will clean and gap those plugs, put them back in, and then we'll try starting it up.
Now, normally I would bore scope the engine if I had the plugs out, but I did bore scope it only about 20 flight hours ago, and my annual condition inspection is only a couple of months away, and I'll do it then. And this is the first time the airplane has been moved on its new wheels in 4 months, so this is actually a pretty momentous occasion right here to see it rolling around on the wheels I installed.
All right, gonna start it up the first time in 4 months and test out the electronic ignition wires and the prop. Clear prop.
So not only am I testing the engine and making sure the prop is all right, but I'm also testing the brakes to make sure that they're going to hold and operate correctly, which they are not.
So everything's coming up good. Left brake works fine. Right brake, nothing. I think it needs to be bled better because when I get on the right brake, just nothing happens, and the pedal kind of goes down to the floor, so I think there's air still in there, so let's re-bleed that right brake.
So the best chance to get air out of there, I'm actually putting a pressure bleeder on the brake, so I'm pushing fluid up from the brake, and I'm also putting a suction pump on the top, so I'm actually sucking and pushing at the same time. So let's give it a try and see if that makes a difference. So you can see me starting to taxi off, and the first thing I do is try both left and right brakes to make sure I do have braking action on both sides. And once I'm satisfied that I have sufficient braking, I'm going to taxi down to the taxiway down to the end there. Unfortunately, I didn't have my in-cockpit camera brought with me because normally it lives in my flight bag. So I went around the corner there and then actually did some testing for a while. Now I'm taxiing back, still testing to make sure the brakes are working okay. Next, I'm getting out with an infrared temperature gun just to check the temperature of the calipers to make sure they're even.
So the right brake is definitely working. It's definitely not as strong as the left brake. I did 3 runs up to 30 knots and then hard on the brakes to a stop, or almost to a stop. I did that 3 times to bed in the linings. It's improved, but the right brake is definitely softer than the left, so I need to figure out what's going on with that. Everything else seems to be working well. I found one of my valve cover gaskets is weeping a little bit, so I think I need to order a set of replacement valve cover gaskets and take care of that. I think I will balance the prop. It's turned out to be a nice evening, and the engine's running fine. It's nice and warm, so I'll get out the prop balancer and do the prop balance.
I'll talk more about this entire process later in this video, but what you see me here doing is installing the sensors that allow me to do the prop balancing that connect to the head unit and provide the sensor data to the unit to allow it to determine whether the prop is out of balance or not. And you can see me putting on a reflective sticker onto the prop there for it to identify the prop.
So here's the balancer unit here, and I'm going to use that and run the engine up to static RPM and see what it has to say. Alright, so it says it's very rough and to add 23.1 grams at 192 degrees. So let's figure out where that is.
I use the protractor to identify where to install the weighted bolts.
Alright, attempt number 2. Clip her up. That wants 16.3 grams at 159. It went from very rough to rough. So we went from 0.73, which is terrible, to 0.07. We'll call that good, and my engine is now baking hot. So I think we're done for tonight. So let me explain what I was doing there. I didn't really have time to do it while I was working on it because it's time limited with the thing that will time out. So this is a photo sensor that looks at the prop, and there's a reflective bit of tape that I put on there so it knows where the prop is. And then it measures the vibration, and it can see where the whole thing is shaking based on where the prop is. And so it has you add weight to specific places, and then it measures it again, and then it told me to put the weight at a place where there isn't a hole. So then you could say, well, I can't do that, but I'm going to split them between 150 degrees and 180 degrees. And it says, okay, in that case, put this much weight at 150 and this much at 180, and it does all the math for you. And then once I did that, I measured it, and we got down to 0.07, which is excellent. The reason I have this ACES one, everybody has a Dynavibe, but the Dynavibe, it comes with just the unit that reads raw data and then a piece of paper that you have to do trigonometry and math and figure it out. I'm like, that's stupid. It's a computer. Let it do the math. So that's why I got this ACES one. It's the same price as the Dynavibe, but it does all the math for you, and it literally just tells you what to do. And in this case, like here, where it told me to put weight where there wasn't a hole to put weight, it lets you split it and you can put it where the weight is, and it tells you exactly how much to put and where. So that's it. That's the prop is done. I do have oil coming off the engine. Obviously, it's gone through the prop and made a real mess. I'll clean that up. I was seeing some definite static RPM increases. I think I saw a little bit over 2,400. The most I ever got on the old prop was 2,200. So I'm thrilled to see 2,400 RPM as a static RPM. That's going to definitely shorten my takeoff rolls and should help the top end cruise as well, because I could never get anywhere near 2,700 RPM in cruise or in cruise climb. Let me button up. I'll put the lower cowling on. I'm not going to put the top cowling on yet because I do want to have a look at these valve covers. Yeah, that one's weeping. So I'll order some valve cover gaskets and replace those.
So I do have oil splatter from that leaking valve cover on the prop, which I'm cleaning off here along with the exhaust soot, but I do have some black speckles on there that is obviously coming from the engine, but I can't seem to figure out how to clean it off the prop. I'm gonna have to figure out what actually that is and how to get that off. Then I start installing the lower cowl and bolting that in place, and then installing the oil cooler, which does take a little bit extra time because it has to be bolted into the lower cowl.
Later.
It's Thursday. 2 days later, I got my package from Aircraft Spruce so we can put on the valve cover gaskets that have just arrived. It is really cold out. The last 2 days have been 70 degrees and sunny and nice. Today, it's snowing. Welcome to Ohio. So we will not be doing any test flying today. Tomorrow, winds are supposed to be upwards of 50 knots. Again, no flying, but Saturday looks good, sunny, and the winds are going to be down. Shouldn't be so cold. And we'll see if we can get up and do test flight as long as everything goes well as today. So I'm going to put on these valve covers, going to re-bleed the brakes, and just a couple other little maintenance tasks, and we should be good to go. I'm not going to put the cowl on yet today because I want to run up the engine and make sure that the new valve cover gaskets are not leaking, and I don't want to run up the engine now and then just let it sit again for a couple days. So I'll do it on Saturday when we go flying. I'll run the engine up, warm it up, make sure it's not going to leak, then we'll put the cowl on. But I do have a couple things to show you first. You might have caught me using these in the time lapse. This is something I've designed because on the propeller, when I put the cowl on the airplane, the cowl actually will contact the back of the propeller, and if you're not careful, it'll actually gouge the back of the propeller. Not badly, just the finish. It looks terrible. So I've always put blue painter's tape on the propeller to protect it, but that doesn't always work. So I came up with this. This is my invention, and I'm calling it the prop sock. And what it is a piece of HDPE plastic on the back, which is really, really slippery. And it's, I think it's 3 mil. It's not too thick. You can bend it. And then I took just a bath towel and cut it up, so it's kind of like a sock. So the towel is there's actually one piece of towel that's folded over and then sewn. You can't use spray adhesive on this type of plastic because this plastic is so slippery that nothing sticks to it. So I actually drilled a whole bunch of holes all the way around the plastic and then cut the towel, and my wife sewed it on there, as you can see. So she did all the hard work. And the idea is that you take this, and with the plastic facing forward, you slip it over the prop like that. And now when you put the cowl on, it just slips along this piece of plastic and doesn't touch the prop and doesn't damage the prop. And it worked really well, so I'm really pleased with this invention. All right, so let's get to work on these gaskets.
Putting the gaskets on is fairly easy. Just got to make sure everything's nice and clean and torque things back in the correct order as prescribed by Lycoming. And I got to use a new tool. I have a torque sensing screwdriver. You do have to torque these in 2 stages, so the screwdriver made quick work of that. Then I'm back to bleeding the brakes again, and this seems to be the 3rd time is the charm. The right brake definitely firmed up after this.
Well, that's it for today, and that's it for this video. Hopefully the next time I'm out here is in 2 days on Saturday. I'll run up the engine, check all these valve cover / rocker boxes to make sure that they are not leaking oil. And we'll hopefully test the brakes and make sure the brakes are bled and working properly. And then go up and test fly. I know it's been a long time with no flying videos on this channel, but hey, that's what happens when you're in a maintenance cycle. But hopefully the next video is flying. In the meantime, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please leave them in the comments section below. And if you do like this kind of video, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out when you do that. All right, my mouth is frozen. I can't talk right. I can't feel my fingers. Time to go home. Thanks for watching.